It's time for You Auto Know here on Daytime with Steve Hurley from Stingray Chevrolet. Now, we all think we're being safe on the road, right? But you could be doing something that inadvertently puts yourself and the people around you in all kinds of trouble. How are you, Steve?
Good morning, Jerry. Good to see you.
Nice to see you again. You know, the things that we're going to talk about in this segment, obviously people know about them, but they really bear reminding because sometimes you just forget.
Without a doubt. And if everybody would pay more attention to these very things, we would alleviate so many traffic issues, accidents, etc.
Here's my biggest pet peeve driving on the road in any city. People follow you, within an inch of your life and theirs. So am I doing the wrong thing when I gently put on my brake lights? Because when I do that, they automatically back off. What is the safe distance between cars?
Yeah, that's a good point because I think it makes sense to do it gently. You're not trying to be offensive,
Right.
but sometimes they just are so focused on where they're going, they don't realize they're tailgating and they'll back off. Typically, you want to use the 2/1000ths rule. Once you pass an object on the road, it's 1/1000, 2/1000, and that's when you should pass the object after the rear of their car does. Sometimes that's not practical if you're in heavy traffic, but just be very, very aware that you may be braking very, very quickly when traffic's that heavy because you could come to a quick stop.
Sure. Now, a lot of times I'll be, a safe distance from the car in front of me, Steve, and then all of a sudden there's a car that just, vroom, just darts right in between the car. I think I'm being safe, and I always want to, you try to contain yourself from road rage, but I always want to say, with something else, which I'm not going to demonstrate.
Right.
But people obviously need to be reminded not to do that.
That's right, and it doesn't really get you there any quicker by doing that. I like to drive aggressively and fast as anybody, legally of course.
Right.
But you want to be a considerate driver. The more that you're a considerate driver, you're going to have fewer chances of having an accident, which we know none of us want to have that happen.
Okay, generally the left lane is considered the fast lane, the right lane, the slow lane. Anything wrong with driving at a more moderate speed in the left lane?
Not specifically, but this is one particular rule of the road, especially on our highways and freeways, that I wish everybody understood. I've mentioned it so many times on the radio show because people just don't get it. The left lane is truly for passing only. There's no reason to be traveling in the left lane unless the person in front of you, you're going as fast as you can because they're in front of you, and as soon as they get by and you want to go faster, then you get around them.
Yeah.
But there should never be an open space in front of you in the left lane.
It
You
seems
should
like
move over. If we all did that, traffic would never slow. It would flow
Right.
perfectly. And for some reason people just get their ego involved, and there's no reason to. I like to drive as fast as anybody legally, but I'm not a slow driver. However, if someone's going faster than me, how do I know they're not having an emergency?
Sure.
Headed to the hospital, whatever. Just move out of the way. Doesn't affect my day at all if I move out of the way and someone goes by me.
Right. Okay, let's talk about when it's okay to use your emergency flashers, especially in a downpour, quickly.
Boy, again, that's something that is prevalent here in Florida that you just don't see, having driven in a lot of other areas, most of my driving time in Texas before moving back to Florida. That is not only against the law, but it's dangerous because once you put those flashers on, you have made it to where I can't tell if you're ever going to change lanes because both flashers are flashing. Basically
Good points.
make it to where your turn signals won't work.
All right. If you have any car-related questions for Steve, email him at steve@yououghtaknow.com. For more information on Stingray Chevrolet, head to stingraychevrolet.com. Thank you, Steve,
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it. We'll be right back.